Welcome. In this video I'm going to be taking a look at this Eyoyo 10.1-inch HD TFT LCD color monitor. So this was provided to me by the distributor, but they're not compensating me for this video and they're not reviewing it before I post it. If you find this video helpful and you want to purchase one of these, I'll put a link to it in the description, and if you use that link, it helps me out a little bit and doesn't cost you anything extra. So the panel size on this is 10.1 inches, has a 20 millisecond response time, it has a 16:10 aspect ratio, it supports 720 and 1080p input, it has 500:1 contrast ratio. This supports VGA audio, USB, MP4, DVD video input, MP5, digital video, and HDMI. We have some more specs on the side. It supports a bunch of different formats. So this can read data right off of a card and play it. Let's get this open. So here we have the manual. Let's take a quick look at it. So you'll want to read through this on your own. Here's the packing list. We have the monitor, remote, power adapter, monitor stand, BNC cable, VGA cable, AV cable, HDMI cable, and user manual. And here are the complete specs. So resolution on this is 1366x768. So this will display 720p video. So if you have 1080p video, it's going to downscale it. These are the inputs. We have VGA, HDMI, AV, that would be composite, USB, and BNC. It has 2-channel 2-watt stereo sound. Power input is 12 volts at 1.2 amps. Here are the keyboard functions. It comes with the remote. This shows the interfaces. This talks about hooking it up. So this has BNC on it. So if you have a security camera with BNC, you can connect it right into this. Now that's for older analog cameras. If you have a newer system, you can connect this to a network video recorder with HDMI. There's an on-screen menu, picture adjustment. I think that's about it here. And it comes with an adjustable stand. So let's pull the monitor out. So here's the monitor itself. And then down here we have accessories. Let me set this here. Let me just pull all these out so we can look at them. So we have a base. So it has some metal here. And it looks like it also comes with this, I assume it's a double stick tape. So you could attach this here and then you could tape this to a surface. So if you're using this for something like a point of sale system or maybe a marketing display, you can attach this to a surface. It looks like you could also drive some screws in there too. Here's the power adapter. And output on this is 12 volts at 1.2 amps. This is the composite analog video cable. So you have video, right channel, left channel audio. This is a ball head adapter. So that looks like it's going to go on here somehow. So if we loosen this up, okay, so this is going to split and that will fit over here. And then this will attach to the monitor. We'll get that set up in a minute. Has a remote control. You want to make sure you pull the tab out to activate the battery. Let's see what kind of battery this has. So it's a CR2025. And this has kind of rubberized buttons on it. Here we have HDMI cable, BNC cable, and VGA cable. So let's look at the monitor. It's made of plastic, has tactile buttons on the front. We have the IR receiver there. Go to the back, it has a vent along the top, stereo speakers, has a VESA mount, so that would be the 75mm version. So you can mount this to a standard monitor mount. This is the slot for the mount that comes with it. On the bottom we have the inputs, so we have the 12-volt power, and we have the VGA, HDMI, analog, USB, and BNC. Let me get some measurements on this. So if I set this on my table and measure to the top of it, it's just under 1.5 inches. This direction looks to be right around 6.5 inches, and this is maybe a 1/16 inch under 10 inches. So I want to give those dimensions in case you have a spot you want to put that in. So it does have a cover on the screen. Let's pull that off. So let's get this mount going. So I'll loosen this up till that splits apart enough that I can stick this in. I may need to take it all the way apart. Yeah, I'll just take it all the way off. Now as I do this, I have my finger over this bolt so it doesn't fall out. So that locks that in pretty good. I'll have to loosen this up. I'll get it straight. And I'll tighten it down. I may need to loosen that again. So this is going to thread this way. So I'll loosen it up. It does have a little rubber gasket there. And that's going to slot in on the back here. Like so. So I'll slot that all the way up. And now I'll loosen the thumb screw. And I'll adjust this to the angle I want. So we'll do it right about there. So that's just under 7 1/4 inches from the desk to the top here. And you can move this at any angle. Let me angle this up so we can see it better with my camera. Now there are little notches in there when you tighten it. So let's plug this in and turn it on. Turn my light off here. Okay, there we are. So it has no signal. So let's hit menu here. That'll bring up our controls. So our picture controls here. If we hit select, it goes to our inputs. Let me go back to menu. We have sound control, clock, and then general settings. It looks like on this page we can switch this up. Let's hit mirror enable. So we can flip this over. So if you're mounting this upside down, you can flip the image. Although I can't think of many situations where you need to do that because this should mount universally so you could just flip the whole device. But it does have that feature, and also you can mirror it. So I'll exit out of here. Let's hook something up to it. Here I have a Raspberry Pi computer, and this takes micro HDMI cable, so I have one of those already. Most things will take a regular HDMI cable. So I'll plug that in the back of the monitor, and I didn't tighten this down. There we go. Now this cable I have is a pretty tight fit there. So you could get a right angle cable or an angled adapter for that. Okay, so I turn that on. So I'll go to my input select here. And it's on HDMI, so now it's booting up. Okay, we're booted up. Close this. I'll go to my Pi menu. I'll go to Preferences, and I'll go to Screen Configuration. And I'll go to Screens, HDMI, Resolution, and this is currently at 1080p. So I'm inputting a 1080p signal, and it's squeezing it on the monitor. So you're not going to see all the detail. So let's switch this to the native resolution. I'll go to 1360 by 768. I'll hit apply, and I'll hit OK. Now it's being cut off here at the top. So I'll go onto the remote, and I'll go over to the settings on the right, the option settings, and I'll go to aspect ratio, auto, and I'll change that to just scan. There we go. So now we're seeing all pixels on here. So this is looking very nice. So we could pull something up here. For instance, here's the file manager, and it's nice and crisp. So let's try something else on here. Okay, so I've connected up this NES Classic to this using HDMI. So I can turn this on. And it says here we're at 720p 60 Hz. And we have the interface up and we can hear the audio. So I can hit plus or minus. So it has some decent sound on it. It's not super loud. It does take a while to adjust. It has 100 increments on it. So I think that will work okay as long as you're not in a loud environment. So we can try playing this. Okay. So you can see when it's playing the game, it shrinks it down, but this will support the whole interface. So this can also play media off a flash drive. So I have a USB drive here. I'll plug that in. Now you can get very slim USB drives if you wanted to use this for, say, marketing, promos. So I'll go to select here and I'll choose USB. Hopefully I have the right drive. So let's go to Photos. So here we have Photos. Now this is running a little bit of a slideshow. It looks like it has a little transition there. Let's see if we can pause that and exit. There we go. So you may want to crop your images to fit this. You may want to crop them to the 16:10 aspect ratio. But that looks very nice. So you could potentially use this as a photo display. Now I used a full-size Raspberry Pi computer on here. If you had a smaller Raspberry Pi computer, you could hook that on the back and have this display weather or all sorts of information. It could be a great project monitor. Let's exit out of this. So I'll go back. Let's do movie. Okay. Now I have a 4K video. Let's try that. Okay, it's not playing the 4K, and I didn't expect it to. I just thought I'd try. Let's try the 1080p video. And that's playing just fine. So if I hit enter, it'll bring up a control. And then we can fast forward. There we go. So that's 1080p video. It's probably a decent bitrate too, and that plays very smoothly. Looks like we can also do text. Let's try music. Okay, so that has a visualizer on it. Don't think I have text. Let's look. No. So with that USB capability, that could make this great for marketing materials. If you have a store or a boutique, you could set this out. Like maybe you do wood carvings. You could have video of yourself doing the wood carvings on here to see how the product is made. Or you could talk about the features of your product. Now to shut it off, we'll hit power. Let's see how fast it turns on. Not too bad. So that was the Eyoyo 10.1-inch LCD color monitor. I really like the versatility of this. Now I only demonstrated a couple different things here, and I use the HDMI and the USB, but you can also connect into VGA, so you can connect this to older systems, cash register systems, and other equipment. And we have the RCA inputs, so you could connect this to legacy game systems, video cameras, and of course we have BNC, so you could hook it up to a security camera. So you could take an analog camera, connect it right into this, and use this as like a dock camera or a front door camera, things like that. A monitor like this would be great for project work. You could use it for portable use. So if you're a tech and you go on site and you want to plug into a headless server, this would be great for that. You could use this in mobile applications like in an RV or mobile trade show booth. Now it comes with this stand, but since it has a VESA mount on the back, you can connect this up to pretty much any monitor stand. And since this runs off 12 volts, it shouldn't be hard to power this mobily with a different adapter. So that's all I'm going to cover in this video. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. If you like this video, please click like. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I'd appreciate it if you could do that. And thanks for watching. Until next time, goodbye.